So I'm on my way right now to Beyond Baroque, which is basically a literary center here in Los Angeles. When I was in high school, I used to do their weekly team writing poetry workshop. I actually haven't been here in several years. And it just will be a huge full circle moment for me. Wow. It even smells the same as I remembered it smelling, like crinkling paper and ink. Oh my gosh. This was the first anthology I was ever published in. As an adult, I'm just like editing my poems down in my brain, but I have to be tender and gentle with 13-year-old Amanda.
How would you describe yourself as a child?
Ooh, as a child?
As a child.
As a child, I was so kooky. I would spend so much of it writing and reading and kind of in my own head and in my own universe.
Amanda Gorman begins to fall in love with the written word as a young girl, growing up on the west side of Los Angeles with her twin sister, Gabrielle.
The first memory I do have of reading something and identifying it as poetry was in that 3rd grade class. We were reading Dandelion Wine by Ray Bradbury, or I was having it read to me by the teacher. There was some line about candy. I don't even remember what it was. And I opened my eyes and I said, that is the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. And I want to spend the rest of my life figuring out why.
To be at that age and to know that about yourself says a lot about you and a lot about the environment that you grew up in. Her curiosity encouraged by her mother, Joan, a public school English teacher.
Her mother is amazing. She's a powerhouse of a person. She has so much to give her daughters, letting them know that they are really capable of doing anything they want.
From the age I was around 5 or 6, I would wake up so early in the morning that not even my mom was up, and she had to pay me to stay in bed to write. And I would write for hours and hours and hours.
Her dedication pays off. Amanda soars academically, attending a rigorous private school in Santa Monica, and her writing flourished. At the age of 16, she becomes the first ever Youth Poet Laureate of Los Angeles.
From a young age, my lips learned the bittersweet honey of language. Its heavy, rich significance left thirsty from oars that would gurgle from my lips, draggier and saggier than day-old eggs.
But the young woman, now famous for speaking in front of millions, says she was not always understood.
I had a speech impediment from kind of the moment I could remember. And my mom was always really incredible in saying, if anyone asks you, why you speak this way, just tell them you were born this way. It wasn't until I was getting older that other people's perceptions to my voice began to create this type of feeling of, wow, should I be embarrassed? Should I be afraid? I've been speaking this way all my life, but for some reason, people are treating me as if I'm less intelligent.
So Amanda found a way to amplify her voice. Speech therapy.
Resident.
Amanda came to us because she was working on her R sounds. A lot of R sounds, when they're not clear, they sound weak. So president might be president. Perfect might be perfect.
I had to work really hard for years and years and years and years until I was able to say those sounds, which is very difficult when you have a last name like Gorman, when you have to say poetry. There's a poem in this place, a poem in America, a poet in every American who rewrites this nation, who tells a story worthy of being told on this minnow of an earth.
Didn't a song from Hamilton help you in some way?
Yes. One of the sounds that I struggled so much with was that kind of shortness of the that you might hear in a song in Hamilton called Aaron Burr, Sir, in which it just compacts that sound over and over again.
Pardon me, are you Aaron Burr, sir?
That depends, who's asking?
Oh, well, sure. Sir?
I would listen to the track of Aaron Burr, Sir, and try to do it over and over and over again. And I told myself, if you can do this song, you can speak this sound wherever.
Was it a way for you to be able to express yourself, the poetry, because of the speech impediment?
What I think my speech impediment did is it othered me from the English language. It kind of created this dissonance or distance between what I was attempting to say and the way I was saying it. As a poet, I consider that to be an incredible gift in my life because it taught me to destabilize the language I was working with. I would not have, I think, arrived here in this moment where I can have a voice if I hadn't known what it was like to be voiceless.
She also had to practice saying another storied name.
I remember the day I got into Harvard.
You brought your letter.
I brought my, letter of Harvard, and I was like, I'm gonna have to say this often. So we, practice on it.
This is the best. We're going to spend the whole session on Harvard. We're doing a Harvard session.
Harvard wasn't really on my radar. It was like this huge glass palace that really, really smart kids went to. And in that moment of stepping on campus, I recognized that I was in a physical space of extreme power, privilege, and that maybe this was the point of my life to step into that and marshal it for a thing larger than myself.
While at Harvard, Amanda's poetry garners further recognition. In 2017, Amanda is named a first Youth Poet Laureate of the United States. Her work put on display here at the prestigious Morgan Library. When they said that they wanted your work here among the greats, what was that moment like for you?
That was amazing, and it was really the first time that anyone had said, hey, let's put your work kind of in historical context, and so to have it alongside people like Mozart, my handwriting, it's an incredible thing. I remember one time a girl in my class, she said, you always have such big dreams and plans for yourself that are impossible. And now I'm looking back in my head and saying, yes, you do have big dreams and ambitions for yourself, and they feel impossible, but you've made them possible.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.